Have you ever listened back to your old beats and thought, wow, I could do so much better than that now? Or have you got a hard drive full of unfinished beats? Instead of starting from scratch, what if you could recycle those ideas into polished lo-fi tracks? Well, stick around because today we're talking about how to remix your own music and finally put all those dusty projects back to work again.
You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Today's topic is a really fun one, and honestly it's one of the best ways to grow as a producer. We're going to talk about remixing your own lo-fi tracks. Now, most producers think of remixes as something you do for someone else. You take their stems and flip them into your style. But here's the secret. Remixing your own music is one of the fastest ways to unlock creativity, discover new sounds, and even get more life out of those tracks that you've already made. So in this episode, I'll break down why self-remixing is so powerful, practical ways that you can approach it, and how to turn your old tracks into something completely fresh without starting right from scratch. So let's get into it. Let's start with the big question. Why remix yourself? Well, for one, it gives your old ideas a second life. We all have those unfinished projects, tracks that don't quite fit in, or ideas that just never fully clicked. Instead of letting them gather dust on your hard drive, remixing gives you a chance to reimagine those. Second, it helps you develop new skills. When you remix, you're forced to think differently, maybe flip your tempo, change the key, or strip things back a bit. You're no longer writing from a blank canvas, you're sculpting and rearranging and transforming. And finally, remixing helps yourself build consistency. Playlist fans and curators, they love multiple versions of the same vibe. Imagine releasing the chill nighttime version of a track, then a more upbeat version for study playlists. It's the same DNA, but just different moods, and that's double the content without double the workload. So how do you pick a track to remix? I like to start with songs that feel like they had potential, but didn't land quite where I wanted them to. Maybe the mix was muddy, or the drums didn't hit right, or it just didn't fit the vibe that I was going for at the time. You can always choose tracks that already did well. Ask yourself, what if I flip this into a completely different mood? That way you're building on something that's already proven itself. And when you've picked a track, export the stems, your drums, bass, melodies, vocals, textures. And then this gives you the flexibility to kind of tear it apart and rebuild it from the ground up. Okay, so let's talk about the fun part, different approaches that you can take when remixing your own tracks. Approach 1, you flip the tempo. If your track was at 70 BPM, try speeding it up to 90, or if it was fast, slow it down. A simple tempo shift can totally transform the energy of your beat. Approach 2, change the harmonic context. Take your main melody and pitch it up or down a few semitones, or reharmonise with new chords underneath. This creates a whole new emotional feel and still keeping that core melody recognisable. Approach 3, you swap out the drums. Maybe your original drum had dusty laid back drums. Try putting it over a punchier boom bap drums, or even minimal or a sleepy beat. Just changing the groove can reframe the entire track completely. Approach 4, you rearrange. You cut sections, loop one part, or chop your own stems like a sample. Maybe the intro becomes the chorus, or maybe that little guitar lick that's sitting in the background now becomes the main hook of the track. Approach 5, you add new textures. You take new field recordings or vinyl crackle, new synth layers. These subtle additions can take a really good remix to something that's really great. And here's one of my favourites. You strip it back. Sometimes the remix isn't about adding, but can be about subtracting. You take away the drums, keep only the chords and a vocal chop, and suddenly you've got a dreamy ambient version. It's something I like to do a lot with piano mixes or Zen mixes, and they're perfect for sleep playlists. And here's some workflow tips. When you're remixing your own track, workflow is so important. Here's a simple method that I use. I pull in the stems into the project and then I immediately change one thing. That could be the tempo, the key, or a drum pattern, just to get out of that mindset of how the original track is. Experiment with chopping, looping, or layering. Don't be afraid to mute half of the stems. Build the arrangement from fresh, even if you keep similar sounds. Make the structure different so it feels like it's its own track. And here's a tip, don't overthink it. A remix doesn't have to be bigger or more complex. It just needs to feel different, and that's the goal. Okay, so you've got your remix in your hand and what you're going to do with it. You've got a few options. You can release it as an official remix, something like the track name Late Night Remix. You can also bundle it with the original as part of an EP, or you can use it as bonus content for your fans on Bandcamp or Patreon. And here's the really cool part, you're multiplying your catalogue without reinventing the wheel every time. One idea turns into 2 or 3 releases, each with a different flavour. And in the world of lo-fi where playlists thrive on subtle variations of vibe, that's a really huge advantage. So that's it for today and remixing your own lo-fi tracks. It's a creative exercise, a workflow hack, and a really smart release strategy all rolled into one. And remember, remixing is not about fixing mistakes. It's about reimagining those ideas and possibilities. Every track you've made, even the unfinished ones, holds some hidden potential. You just need to dig in, flip it around, and give it some new life. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Lo-Fi Music Academy. And I'd love to hear some of those remixes that you may do. Try flipping a few of your old tracks this week and tag me in on the socials so that I can check it out. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.